All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I just woke up about 20 minutes ago. I'm still waking. But we have good news. They caught Austin Drummond this morning, early this morning. I imagine they probably stumbled up on him while he was sleeping and got him, which is good because there was no weapon used. Uh, so that's probably what I'm thinking. Right? There was no weapons fired or anything. So I imagine he was passed out and they stumbled upon him and and found him. He did have weaponry. He did have ammo. Um, let's see who's covering it. Miss Crime Lines and Lies is covering it. Icamel's on it. JLR's on it. Dang it! I slept in late for some reason. I think somebody's doing a sleep spell on me or something. Let's see what we can see. See what we can find here. Let's see. Let's check out what JLR's pumping out. Let me put him in here. Chat. All right, let's see what he's saying about this whole thing. All right, I posted JLR's channel in chat real quick.
Saw the
Let's
guy
check it out.
walking in the middle of the wood.
Thank you.
And we thought nobody wants to walk in the middle of the wood in the middle of this stuff. So we was kind of like very sure it was the guy. So I called the police immediately when the guy was walking right there and kind of like give them the location and everything. And they be hearing about actually I was on the phone when they got here. So and I'm really glad they got it.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
The hero.
Well,
great job,
they
big
are
dog.
the hero. I just called them. I just called them. They are the heroes.
Cool. So
There you go. So he's the one that sold him. We're gonna play back here and listen to this and listen in.
So a
to
pedestrian
a local media here
called
Turn
the
up the
police on him.
volume
He was walking
and
in the
listen
woods.
in.
Exactly about perhaps, how was he
But
able
I'm
to
not
make
seeing no
bail and be
camouflage.
out on parole in that situation?
He might
That's
have
certainly an
dumped
issue we know all too well here in
I'm
the
thinking he
Memphis
probably
area.
dumped
That
the
so-called revolving door. I wouldn't say that's necessarily what occurred here, but
probably dumped the
anytime someone
camouflage once
who's
they
been in
found
jail
out
for
that
that
he
long gets out,
once
immediately
he
commits
once he
an act
found out
like
they might have
this,
footage
you
on him.
have nothing to do but ask that question.
Yes, it's a valid question of should he have been out on the streets to begin with? That's the question that we'll be asking investigators, and so hopefully something that will come out
Let's see if we can
in
get
the new
footage
details that we'll receive later on today and in the weeks and months to come as we continue to cover this case. Let's go ahead and take a look at that surveillance video that we've been watching and looking at. I think that is really, really important in this conversation. We cannot say for certain that Drummond didn't leave Jackson, but maybe he did not.
Wow.
Maybe he had been there the whole time. Again,
See,
this
he's
video
signaling for
was taken
someone, it
on
looks like.
Sunday, which is August 3rd, around 11 p.m. This was video that police
Looks
have
like he
given
was
to
just in
us,
regular
to all of
jeans.
the media, but it was from a local church in the area.
Yeah, it's kind of scary to see. I mean, it's when you see him walking away, he's got a large rifle there in his hand. You can only imagine if someone again, these were churches, someone who happened to just be there custodially or any kind of situation where someone was staying at the church. You've got this, accused quadruple murderer sort of walking around just the streets of Jackson. Kind of terrifying to think about, especially for those families. I know a lot of everyone in Jackson can breathe a sigh of.
All right, let's see what we could find here. There ain't nobody reporting it. I'm not seeing anything else but the three big. Clutch them pearls, I think, is on it. accessory to evade and abet.
Possession of Schedule 6 drugs and criminal conspiracy, while Sanders is charged with accessory after the fact to first-degree murder.
Kind of scary to think about. You'd hope maybe they
So
didn't
I'm
quite
wondering, did they help
realize
him?
what exactly
Or
they were getting into. I certainly,
did they help him do the
what their
murder?
relationship. Don't know his
Or
relationship to
or
those
just
people,
help
for
him
one thing.
evade?
Maybe how do they
No,
know
being
each
that he
other
was
from a
Vice
long way
Lord
back? Is
gang
this a
member,
person that had cultivated those
these
relationships,
people
or these
that are
people that
helping him
just kind of
probably
found
are
themselves in a situation and
Vice
were
Lord
afraid, and
affiliated,
maybe that type of
gang
information will
affiliated.
come out across the the various court proceedings that are now going to get into effect. I know we talked about two of those are in courts on
Well,
Thursday.
Yes.
And then our
He had to
Desmond
know
Nugent
it was
just was at the
coming.
courthouse.
He stuck around too long in that place, and I think he knew the team was zeroing in on him, probably. But yeah, that was the most stupidest move he made, was staying around there. And till right now, I can't figure out why he stuck around there. There was a reason he stuck around there for something. It makes no sense for him to stick around there. And that's probably what got him caught, was he stayed in that same place way too long. Pretty crazy, if you ask me.
I believe yesterday, or two of those other arrestees there, kind of in Northwest Tennessee. Those legal proceedings are going to end up being very separate from this Drummond case, which will now move into a new phase. Yeah.
And while we're talking about charges and people connected, let's run through Drummond's charges, what he's facing so far, and know.
For 60 years, families like ours have been growing apples for Treetop Apple.
All right, they got a photo of him right now. Hold on a minute. Oh, there he is. No camo on at all. So where's the camo jacket? Did they have the rifle? No, I'm shocked he didn't shoot it out. I was over at Crime Lines and Lies channel a few minutes ago, and they showed a photo of him with the one woman's sister that he got pregnant. Believe it or not, he was dating one of the mother's sister, and he ended up killing all these. Why did he do that? What did they do to his sister or his girlfriend or whatever significant other that made him go and kill all four of them? Was there any life insurance policies on that family? Or was it the family that ratted him out? That's why he didn't kill the woman that was having his baby, but he killed the rest of them because they ratted him out, maybe? Don't know. Well, they caught him another one. And, we didn't have to unleash Ernie Shell on him. So, yeah, he created his own problem, folks. And he created his own capture by staying in that area for way too long. God works in mysterious ways. Oh my God. Lesney. All right, let's see what else we can find on him now. I mean, it hasn't even broke yet. I mean, the story's just breaking. The story's just breaking, really.
Since the dawn of time, man has been plagued by itch and irritation from not wiping clean. What man didn't realize is that
other than she is safe.
Yeah, we haven't learned too much about that information, or too much about the case so far. They'd be hesitant to release information because it has been such an active scene. Obviously, up until just very moments ago, they were looking for Drummond and not trying to get any information out there that may aid him in his escape efforts. Hopefully, over the next hours, days, weeks, they'll be able to be a little more forthcoming with what they know and what they've been able to piece together so far at this time. I understand last week, again, in Lake County, officials with TBI found 4 bodies along Carrington Road in Tiptonville. We're saying these names again: 21-year-old James Wilson, 20-year-old Adriana Williams, 38-year-old Courtney Rose, 15-year-old Braden Williams, and that all one family. Courtney Rose, actually the grandma there of the baby that was found. Braden Williams, I believe, her nephew, and then Wilson and Williams were speculated in a relationship there. It's just heartbreaking to think about like this.
Yeah, it is. And just know, especially you could see on the graphic that was on your screen, this was a very complicated, wide investigation that involved multiple agencies in Lake County, Dyer County, the TBI, and the FBI. All were helping to figure this out, to solve this, and even Jackson Police as well.
Yeah.
So you have 5 or 6 different agencies that were working to figure out where Drummond was, to identify him first, then to figure out where he was and to bring him into custody, which they did today.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the questions that I haven't seen to be answered specifically, is how they were able to zero in on Drummond as a suspect, relatively quickly. That news came out within a day.
Yeah, that's what we want to figure out too. Is some people are saying he was behind bars as these murders happened, and some people say he was already out of prison. It's been over a year, and then he did these murders or whatever, or someone did. Right? Someone did. He might not have done the murders, and someone else might have done it for him, maybe. But now the interrogations begin. Now the interrogations begin.
They knew Drummond was the man that they were certainly looking for. Again, alleged here still at this time, but that question I would be curious to find out about. What makes them so certain that Drummond is the person that they want to look for,
Agreed.
There's a lot of questions that still have to be answered. And we do have a reporter there on the scene, which we'll be getting to him momentarily. He'll be able to give us that live picture of the scene. Again, just on Wednesday, the last time Drummond was seen in Jackson, that just last week up until these few days ago, he was believed to have been driving a damaged white 2016 Audi at the time. This is a look at a map.
Well, let's see what else we can find. There ain't too much right now. Everybody's going live, but I ain't getting no news footage. I imagine they will.
Breaking news: Austin Drummond, accused killer of 4 people in Lake County, has been taken into custody. I'm Kevin McDermott with Amon Cooper.
Yeah, authorities in Jackson, Tennessee have now announced this morning that they have captured Drummond, ending a nearly week-long manhunt after a family of 4 was killed and a baby was left in someone's yard. We do have a crew en route to the scene right now to gather more details about this developing story that we're learning about in real time.
Yes, this is certainly a case that has attracted a lot of interest, not just here in the Mid-South, but across the country. Here we've got a photo of Drummond now that we're showing. Yes, this is a look at the mugshot they were putting out there. Remember, this is a situation that kicked off just about a week ago with initially, you may remember, they found the baby on the lawn of someone's home down in the Jackson area, or closer to the Jackson area.
Yes.
They were trying to figure out what was going on, how that baby got there. And it was later that day that they located those 4 bodies.
Absolutely. So the baby was found in Dyer County. The 4 victims were found in Lake County. We also know that those 4 victims are all related. They're family members. Let's remember them right now as we talk about this case. James M. Wilson was 21 years old. Adriana Williams was 20 years old. Courtney Rose, 38 years old, and Braden Williams was just 15 years old. And police are saying that Drummond is a suspect and connected to their deaths and the disappearance or the drop-off of that baby in Dyer County.
Of the 38-year-old.
It's just a real tragedy, and you're right to put
that was the mother
those victims
of these
right now. Here,
people.
we're still in these early stages again. Austin Drummond has been located in Jackson, Tennessee. Maybe to some surprise, here a week later, there was thought authorities had announced earlier in the week that they had reason to believe he had left West Tennessee. Don't know if they got new information that changed, but obviously that was not the case. And he is, in fact, back around and in custody. This nightmare, really, for this whole region finally coming to some sort of close right now.
Absolutely. Now that he is back and in
I'm
custody.
out 32 grand.
I love Rise Mushroom Coffee. And not just because I look good drinking it.
Hello there.
I'm out 32 grand. We were getting ready to suit up today and go down there and bust some cojones. Last night when I went to bed, the reward was up to 32,000. I was telling my mod, get my T-Rex ready, my sword, and we might be heading to Tennessee. But how bad is it when you're that desperate to hunt these guys down for money? That's pretty bad. But anyways, we know Ernie Shell was out there because we got reports of a madman running up and down the tree lines out there. Like a greyhound, but thank God they got him. Let's see what else we got on this. Here's his face right here. No weapons were fired. That's good, right? That's always good. Boy, everybody is live. Everybody's just boom, 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 boom. And here's what's funny. Not one of these people were covering the case.
What's up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Rise and shine. Rise and shine. Rise and shine. They're saying Austin has been caught. Austin Drummond.
Yeah, they caught him.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap, Jack.
Oh, sizzle.
Oh, sizzle.
Hold on one second, too. Hold on one second.
Oh, snap, crackle, and pop. Ickamel, they caught him.
Big news. Quadruple homicide. Murder suspect arrested. Am I live? Should be live, right? You guys can see me. Wow.
Well, it don't shock me. Last night before I went to bed at Camille, I told the world the team's coming. We're gonna have to get rid of Tennessee.
Tennessee.
And they're like, you're gonna get rid of Tennessee? Why? I'm like, there's 32 grand sitting down there. So, you know what? We just want to get him. So we'll just
bragged about his life behind bars, posting pictures. They said this man was living the life when he was previously locked up. I wonder if he'll live the same life again.
Wow.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, let's stop that. Well, he heard the team was on their way to Camille, and he went on the run like a wild boar in the woods. like a wild boar in the woods. And we want to thank that citizen that called the authorities and reported someone walking in the tree lines out there. Once again, our beloved citizens that helped the authorities make an arrest. Once again, we want to thank our beloved United States citizens for helping bring this guy to justice. Somebody buy that dude a dinner. I imagine he'll be on the news that he is the one that called in the authorities. Now, we also have some new cases that are coming out, which I cannot reveal to you yet. You know, there's no rest for these wicked. No rest at all for these wicked. All right, let's check out another one. Sparkle.
This as another person has been arrested in connection to this crime. So let's go to Peyton Kennedy right now with an update on, Peyton, what is now an extensive manhunt.
Yeah, absolutely. And police in Jackson, Tennessee have shared 2 surveillance videos now, which they say show the suspect, Austin Drummond. The videos show Drummond wearing camouflage clothing and a backpack, carrying a rifle. In one video, he does attempt to open a door. This was on Pipkin Road Sunday night, that is just north of I-40. On Monday, Union University was placed on lockdown. Officers were seen nearby as the search continued for Drummond. State troopers were seen checking vehicles entering the Cherry Grove apartments near the university. The apartment complex is where a third suspect was arrested and charged with being an accessory after the fact. Drummond's car was found in Jackson Friday. The 29-year-old is wanted on several charges, including first-degree murder and aggravated kidnapping, in the deaths of 4 Dyer County family members whose bodies were found in Lake County.
Okay, this is the woman, the 38-year-old. Drummond was dating her sister. This lady's sister was the one that's pregnant by Drummond, supposedly. The photo that you see him standing behind the woman that was pregnant, that's this woman's. And this woman was beautiful. Look at her. That's one beautiful lady. You know, they all love the bad boys. We're all in the wrong business.
County on Tuesday. An infant relative was found unharmed but abandoned in front of a house in neighboring Dyer County. So you can see on a map here, this is the tip of Northwest Tennessee, but the search is now expanded to Jackson in Madison County. Jackson Police Department is urging residents in the Pipkin Road and Pleasant Plains Road areas to review all security camera footage beginning at 10 a.m. on Monday. And the total reward for information continues to climb, now reaching $32,500.
Well, that guy.
Greencroft Middlebury started in 2004, and we had our first residents move into independent living in 2000.
That guy just got 32 grand. Congratulations, sir. Congratulations. He is the winner of the day. Now, let's see if the police scam him out of it. Right? He made the call. He reported him walking in the woods out there. The police were there by the time he got off the phone. The guy said he was still on the phone with the police when the police showed up there. And they went in the woods and got him. But if something ain't making sense, he didn't fire. He had a weapon. He had things. Why didn't he fire on him? I don't know. That's pretty crazy. I'm going to check out this one thing here. All right, let's skip on that. All right, folks, I'm going to have my coffee and wake up, and then I will be back. With more intel. Looks like we're all out of 32 grand. And that's probably what it was. Everyone heard that, 32 grand was out there sitting to be taken. And that gentleman that was in the video that I first showed you saying that he called the police probably will be the one that collects the 32 grand, you think? Not unless the police say, well, we caught him, right? We went in the woods and caught him, so we don't have to release the 32 grand. But if the government stops, if the government starts screwing around, asking for help, and the citizens help, and they put a reward out there, and the citizens find them, and they're not paying the rewards, I imagine citizens helping the authorities in these situations will come to an end. I would imagine. Well, I'm looking for more stuff here. But the story is broke. It just broke not too long ago. So there ain't really nothing out there but people going live and showing little clips of stuff. I'm looking. Just not too much. All right, I'm going to show you something here, folks. Hold on a minute. Austin Drummond's behind bars.
A car seat on your front lawn. No note, no explanation. That's exactly what happened in D, and what unfolded next was even more horrifying. Police traced the infant to a gruesome scene nearly 40 miles away. 4 members of her family had been brutally murdered and left in a wooded area. The victims, 21-year-old James M. Wilson, 20-year-old Adriana Williams, 38-year-old Courtney Rose, and 15-year-old Braden Williams, were her parents, grandmother, and uncle. Now, authorities say the man responsible is 28-year-old Austin Robert Drummond, who remains on the run and is considered armed and dangerous. Drummond had a history of violent crime and was out on bond for attempted murder at the time. A massive manhunt is underway across multiple counties, with a $15,000 reward offered for his capture. The baby, miraculously unharmed, is now in protective custody. But the nightmare that claimed her entire family is far from over.
So let me break down to everybody who this man is. This man was living like a king in prison in his previous bid because he is one of the leaders in the Vice Lord organization. Now, that's why he was able to get some accomplice. 2 people have been arrested helping this man out since he done this quadruple murder, and they've been arrested for helping him. It's because of his connections with the Vice Lord. Now, let me show you the relation to this whole thing is. So there's the suspect. He was dating Caitlin, Courtney's sister. Courtney's a victim. Andriana is her daughter. And then his stepson was...
All right, let's back up a little bit here. Now, he was living like a king in prison. He was one of the leaders of the Vice Lords. And you could tell he was living like a king. Look at all the blankets. Look at all the bags of food. Look at all the stuff on his shelf. See, he was in control. See, he was one of the top leaders probably. And he did live like a king. Look at all the stuff. Right? If someone needed something, they went to him.
Leaders in the Vice Lord organization. Now, that's why he was able to get some accomplice. 2 people have been arrested helping this man out since he done this quadruple murder, and they've been arrested for helping him. It's because of his connections with the Vice Lord. Now, let me show you the relation to this whole thing is. So there's the suspect. He was dating Caitlin, Courtney's sister. Courtney's a victim. Andriana is her daughter. And then his stepson was Brandon and Matthew. The 4 at the bottom are all victims. That's all the people he killed, right? And the reason he knows this family and is in connection with this family is because the one he's dating, Caitlin, was actually a corrections officer and was helping him in the Vice. I believe it's the one he's dating. Let me go ahead and just tell you the story. Let me read this real quick. The man used to be an inmate out of the prison. Courtney's sister used to be a correctional officer out here, fell in love inside the prison. He got out. She left work. We are not supposed to ever have contact with an inmate for 2 years. And this is from another correction officer talking about this on Facebook. So apparently it was a bad deal gone wrong with the Vice Lords, and they put a hit on the dude, Matt. And Matt didn't know they were meeting down there, and allegedly they all got killed. You know, innocent people got killed. I guess it was supposed to be just Matt that was supposed to get murdered. But now...
All right. So Matt must have had connections with them, and the Vice Lords put a hit out on him. And it happened, I would imagine, that Austin, being Austin, was related to the guy through marriage or through whatever, baby or whatever, lured them there, supposedly, and then they were off. So I imagine there was other people there. Right, because they're saying that the Vice Lords put a hit out on that. Matt was associated out here in the prison and was doing drops. So Matt was the one that was dropping the drugs and stuff, flying them in. Wow. All right. Let's listen to some more of this.
You got this dude on the run, and you know he's part of the Vice Lords, so he's not probably going to cooperate, and he's going to take, and if he did do it or didn't do, he's going to take the fall. But the one thing that I always circle back to is that baby, right? So they left the baby out in, you know, the heat, 100 degrees, but I just want to say this, and if this guy's listening out there, I know that you just murder people and you are a piece of shit. You need to know that, and you're going to go to prison for the rest of your life. But God, thank you for not killing that baby, dude. Like, seriously, I think someone has to say it. And that said, now let's get back. So this was on Austin's Facebook. He recently was just in Florida having the trip of his life with his new family, having a great time, being a stepdad, being a new boyfriend, husband. They were in love, man. It was a correction officer and inmate that fell in love. And then this incident happened because he was still had a foot into the gang life, man. He went into prison. They say he's an upper leader in the Vice Lords. From Tampa, he's a Tampa fan. Apparently, he had all this merch in prison. You can see, he's decked out in prison. He has jeans on and boots on in prison. A lot of commissary in prison. Hunt's Brothers Pizza. This dude was getting everything he wanted in prison, and then maybe that's why it's easy for these dudes on the outside to commit these crimes because they're going right back into paradise in their own opinion. They get institutionalized with the items they're able to get, and they had video games, etc. in there. Now this dude is still on the run, and they haven't got him yet, and he keeps getting a lot of help from Vice Lord members and associates, people that are helping him get away from the police. Now, if you don't know what he sounds like, we are about to play an audio from his previous parole that he got denied in, and he admits that he was addicted to Xanax. There's an attempt of murder in there. He robbed a gas station, only got $40. But I'm going to let this play because you learn a little bit about the suspect and you get to hear his voice.
I'm hearing your case from the West Tennessee State Penitentiary by webcam, and this is an initial parole hearing for Austin Drummond. Mr. Drummond, can I get your date of birth?
8/31/96.
And your TDOC number or your Thomas number?
541332.
Thank you. My name is Jeff Barker. I'm a hearings officer with the Tennessee Board of Parole. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
If at any point in time you can't, let me know and I'll be glad to repeat myself, okay?
Yes, sir.
And would you have expected any visitors to attend this hearing today if not for these restrictions that are in place?
Yes, my parents would have been here.
All right, you've got a decision to make. Would you like to postpone this hearing to a later date to allow your visitors to be present, or would you like to continue and have this hearing today?
I'll continue today.
You want to have your hearing today without your visitors present, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, we can do that. Let me just update your file here. And do you have any new certificates or documents that you've not already given to your IPO?
No, sir.
All right. The purpose of this hearing is to gather information from you and your records and make a non-binding recommendation on whether to grant or deny you parole. This is just a recommendation. Your file and the information gathered today will be forwarded to the board, who will then vote on your case. They will either accept, reject, or modify my recommendation, and you will receive written notification from the board in a timely manner. Do you understand the purpose of this hearing?
Yes, sir.
Appeals may be granted for the following reasons. Number one, if there is significant new evidence or information that was not available at the time of the hearing. Two, if there are allegations of misconduct by the hearing official. And three, if there were significant procedural errors by the hearings official. Appeals must be submitted within 45 days from the date that you receive that written final decision from the board. Your IPO will have those forms and can assist you if needed. Do you understand your appeal rights?
Yes, sir.
Did you receive prior notice of this hearing at least 14 days ago?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any detainers or pending charges, either federal, state, or local?
I have detainer, but no pending charges.
Okay, what is your detainer for?
I have I have to serve 6 months in the county jail for vandalism.
All right, hang on just a second. Let me update that. That's out of Madison County?
Yes, sir.
Class B for aggravated robbery, and then 13 Class E's for retaliation for past action, all of those out of Madison County. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm showing this is your initial parole hearing. You've not had any before now, correct?
Correct.
And your most recent strong R assessment was done in June of this year. You were scored as high for violent with pathways of mild substance use, interpersonal skills, and vocational. I'm showing you've been locked up about 83 months since August of 2013. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
A large touchscreen keeps everyone happy.
I'm showing your present custody level as maximum.
Yes, sir.
And you reported juvenile convictions for, well, these convictions here, you were a juvenile, correct?
Yes, sir. I was 16.
All right. Any other juvenile convictions other than these 14 here?
I have some misdemeanor weed possessions and some trespassing charges, stuff like that. Drug paraphernalia. No felonies.
Of course, no adult felony convictions, no supervision experience. I'm showing the highest grade you completed was 10th. No military experience, I'm assuming?
No, sir.
All right. And what programs have you completed this incarceration?
Pro-social?
Anything else?
No, sir. I was in TCOM when I came to Max, so all that happened.
Currently enrolled in any programs?
Say that again, sir?
Are you currently enrolled in any programs?
No, sir.
Do you owe any restitution?
No, sir. Not that I know of. I don't think so.
All right. Looking at your disciplinary, your write-ups, I'm showing most recently, looks like you've got a couple of pending right now for drugs and a cell phone. Have those been to D-Board yet?
No, those haven't been handled yet.
All right, and then we'll skip on to the ones that have. I'm showing May of this year a Class A for possession of a deadly weapon, Class A for assault with that weapon, also a Class B for refusing or altering a drug test. March of this year showing a Class A for security threat group activity, as well as a Class A for refusing to participate. Also have multiple others. Looks like you've had about 27 incidents in total. 7 of them Class A, 7 Class Bs. We've had threats, deadly weapons, violation of state law, drugs, and etc. Does that sound right?
Yes, sir.
Anything you want to say? Any statements you want to make about your discipline?
Yes, sir. These past few months, the assault and the deadly weapon, it came after it was self-defense. I was almost beat to death. That's where that came from. But before those recent ones, I went almost 2 years without any disciplinary.
What did you do to get this charge?
I robbed a gas station.
Were you armed?
Yes, sir.
What did you have?
It was a BB gun.
Was anyone injured?
No, sir.
How much money or what did you take?
It was like $40.
Why were you robbing a gas station?
Honestly, I was on Xanax that night. I don't even remember doing anything.
All right. Using any other drugs or alcohol around that time?
No, just Xanax, alcohol, and marijuana.
So he robs a gas station with a BB gun, only gets $40, and his whole life was wrecked. He did 10 years for a BB gun and $40. Crime don't pay. It don't pay.
All right, and then you've got 13 counts of retaliation for past action. Tell me about this.
Yes, sir. After my trial, after I was convicted, I was on the phone with my dad, and I made a comment that I would be out soon, and that I had the jury's information.
So you made threats to go after them?
Yes, sir.
All right, I am showing there is confidential opposition statements in your file, as well as letters of opposition from the District Attorney Jody Pickens' office that is strongly opposed to your parole based on the violent aggravated robbery, as well as the threats made to harm the victim and the jurors after the trial. I do see that you've submitted a release plan for your parents, Greg and Andrea Drummond. That'll be in Jackson, Tennessee, and you're requesting a temporary job waiver. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else you'd like to submit or any final statements you'd like to make?
No, sir.
Give me just a few minutes. Let me look over your file, and I will have your recommendation shortly, okay?
Thank you.
Incarceration. I'm going to recommend that you be declined for adverse effect on discipline, also for seriousness of offense, based on the aggravated robbery with a firearm and those threats to the victims and jurors, and also consider you to be high risk based on your behavior this incarceration, including your custody level and removal from programs. I'm going to recommend that you be placed on a review docket in 3 years for July of 2023. Do you understand my recommendation?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
This hearing is now concluded, 1:19 p.m. Good luck to you, Mr. Drummond.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Show Drummond spent years in prison for robbing a convenience store when he was a 16-year-old and threatening to go after jurors. He was tried in that case as an adult. This happened in 2013 in Jackson. He pleaded guilty in 2015 to 13 counts of retaliation for past action. Drummond was given a combined 13-year sentence, which ended in September of 2024.
As you know, we've been closely following the case of 28-year-old Austin Drummond, who was released from the Tennessee State Penitentiary in 2024. He had served over a decade for an armed robbery he committed as a teen and was tried as an adult. While still incarcerated, Austin was hit with a pending attempted murder charge for an incident that allegedly took place inside the prison. Despite that serious charge of attempted murder in 2024, after serving his original sentence, he was granted a $30,000 bond and was able to post it. Now, here's where things take a turn. Before his release, Austin reportedly formed a relationship with a correctional officer who has since been identified as the stepsister of one of his victims. After his release, the two continued their relationship, and now, just months later, Austin stands accused of killing his girlfriend's stepsister, her 20-year-old daughter, her 15-year-old son, and the father of her granddaughter.
There she is, pregnant.
This case has continued to unfold, and now with new sightings and development, there's even more to come from this. But for right now, the Tennessee Police Department has released 2 confirmed sightings of Austin. So take a look at this, but it only shows him walking around because it is from someone's Ring cam or someone's camera footage that they were able to turn it over to police, who have now verified that this is indeed, in fact, Austin. If you haven't had an opportunity, please check out my previous video because I just uploaded the video. And one of the suspects who have been charged as an accessory after the fact, his sister went live on Facebook to defend him. Well, now there was another suspect as well. So there's two suspects that you're going to see that have been charged as an accessory after the fact. And this is the first time that we're going to see footage of the suspects in court. Now,
Boy, I tell you, these people messed up. Right? They helped them or something, and they get the same charges against them. And could lose everything they got. The old law used to be if you helped someone get away like that and you lied and they proved it, you could be charged and you could lose your property and all kinds of stuff. Crazy. All right, folks, I'm going to be back. I just woke up. I need to wake up. We're going to watch a little YouTube, and then we'll come back with more things once the story breaks, once it all calms down and they start getting questions and answers. I imagine the police will do a press release here soon, so we're going to get ready for that. God bless. All glory goes to God. Thanks for another day. They caught him. All glory goes to God for that. And we'll be back here once the police make a press release on what actually will happen. They probably talk to him once they got him in custody. And we'll find out really what's going on. All right, I will be back. You folks have a good day.